So Bible prophecy being revealed again. Let's take a look at what just happened. If you're following the news, Israel struck what was seen as a military base. Also, underground and nearby was where they create the uranium for their nuclear weapons, and also a military base, which apparently had an airport. Now, to the degree of destruction where Israel had struck within Iran, I don't know. I don't know how big it really happened. More news will be coming out, and you'll find out. But the significance of all this is that Israel was able to strike Iran, and Iran now knows that. They couldn't prevent this. And also, Iran is still completely humiliated over the fact that not a single one, I think there was one of their drones that they shot, of 350, I think they said, missiles and drones, one of them hit someplace within Israel, a military base, and did some damage. And that was all, out of all that. So Iran not only being completely humiliated that they didn't have the ability to be able to attack Israel like they thought, and then on top of that, they couldn't stop Israel from striking them. And where it would hurt him the most if they had launched something big, Israel had launched something big. So it is seen right now and understood, we're hearing from Iran's number two, and he's saying that, okay, we're done now. We basically, say this is over with. We don't want to do any more striking against Israel. We're going to stand down, is what Iran is saying. And basically, they want to slip back into the shadows again as they were before and use their proxies. One of the questions would be, is Israel going to strike any place else that also contributed to Iran's Israeli strike? Don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, out of all of this, one thing that we can keep in mind, and it comes to the scripture on this, folks, and that is that Iran is still seen in the tribulation period, and especially seen in the last half of the tribulation. So Iran still must be. Okay. That doesn't mean it can't be struck or hit, well, it was, but it still stands, and it is part of the Armageddon period of time, at the very end of the tribulation. A lot of people like to use Jeremiah 49, and that's okay, except that you have to remember, in regards to a strike that Jeremiah was talking about, and that goes from Jeremiah 49:35 down to 39. And if you read there, it clearly states that it's in the latter days. So there again is this area within Iran that is described in Jeremiah 49 that is seen in the end. Okay, let's keep going here. So if we understand then that the wars in the last half of the tribulation period still has Iran in it, it would only make sense that Iran would not got destroyed. And I've been saying that for a long time now, that people are saying, this massive destruction coming from Israel, going to wipe out the nuclear capabilities of, along with America, and they're going to strike. And I said, I just don't see that in Scripture. There's my understanding, kind of get this might help you a little bit. There's man wars that are not in Scripture, and then there's, of course, biblical wars that we can see that God said is up and coming. Jeremiah would be one of them, Isaiah another one, Psalm 83, etc. So we understand the difference between the two. So if it's a man something that's going to happen, we have no way of knowing when or to what degree. But everyone said that Iran, not everyone, a lot of people are saying, that there would be a huge strike in Iran. And I said, well, but Iran's still there in end times, so we have to keep that in mind. If that helps you a little bit to kind of straighten this all out, because you need to put everything into a proper sequence to be able to see what's going on. Okay, so that's the news today. I know a lot of people are going to be reading about it, and I've already heard just heavily exaggerated stories, but that's not matching the news that I'm getting. I don't know, maybe something else happened, and it'll be appearing here in a little while, but it was a very limited strike, and Israel said is not to cause a regional response. And so Israel has succeeded. They did what they said they were going to do. So we'll have to see, because this starts taking us closer now to a time that maybe we'll see another scripture fall into place that we've talked about. And that's Paul in 1 Thessalonians 5:3, when he talks about a saying of peace and safety, and then sudden destruction. So will this now start this de-escalation go to a period of time that people might begin to say, okay, the major part's over with. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't know. That's for sure. But let's just wait and see how this all plays out. You heard about what's going on here. This is not, seeing in Scripture is a real big deal. So let's just go from there. Okay, and let's see what happens. Well, I'll follow up. I'll be back here Sunday if something else happens later on today or tomorrow. I can always make videos anytime. So let's go from there. Let's go on forward until Sunday, and that's the news that's out there from a perspective of what I see within Scripture. Okay? All right. I'll see you Sunday, folks.